It's been a couple of weeks since you seen my pretty, ugly face. But I got plenty to talk about on the Cuse and the Bills front, 'cause there's been plenty of news. But I'm gonna start with the Cuse front first, 'cause first I want to talk about what a match, or I should say, mismatch, the Pinstripe Bowl turned out to be. West Virginia was ill-equipped to handle the elements, and we were really equipped. Boy, all that snow coming down in Yankee Stadium made it a winter wonderland there for the Pinstripe Bowl. And you know what? It hampered Geno Smith in West Virginia quite a bit. And boy, did Prince Tyson Gully and Jerome Smith love it. Look at all the yardage they gained on the ground there. Gully over 200 yards. Smith over 150 yards. And we laid a pretty good thrashing on Dina Holgerson and the Mountaineers. He just didn't have the Mountaineers ready. Of course, Geno Smith had to do two things wrong. And you know what? They awarded 2 points to Syracuse for his own safety. Heck, he goes back in the end zone there in the first half. He gets hit, then he gets hit again, fumbles the ball. Thing is, that could have been a touchdown had somebody noticed. But hey, there's the first chance they awarded Syracuse 2 points for Geno Smith's own safety. And then it looked like in the second half, right there in the fourth quarter, he had a few too many on that play. Of course, getting traction on that field, heck, you could slip around just a bit. But you see him slip around, and then he fall down while attempting the most feeble pass I ever saw. Boy, that was the most feeble pass I saw ever since I tried to ask a girl if she was from Tennessee. 'Cause you know what? She was the only 10 I see. But you see what happens. The ref even didn't like watching that pass, Smith, 'cause you saw what he did. Whew. That really stunk. Of course, on that camera angle, you couldn't see my hand. But again, they awarded 2 points for your own safety to Syracuse. All in all, a pretty good thrashing in the Pinstripe Bowl. Our second Pinstripe Bowl win in the last 3 years. A 38-14 thrashing of West Virginia. But of course, that's not the only news about the football team. It may be over for this year. But right now, Doug Marrone has become a hot commodity. Heck, several teams are talking to him. But you know, my personal opinion, Marrone has done a great job resurrecting Syracuse back to being a winning team. But I don't think he's quite ready for the NFL or the Bills or whatever. 'Cause you know, I mean, even though Bill Parcells is saying he's endorsing Marrone, Marrone just hasn't really proven it. And with a new quarterback coming in for the Orange this coming year, we could sure use Marrone's help. Charlie Loeb's only attempted maybe 5 or 6 passes. Heck, he had to come into the Pinstripe Bowl when Nassib got his helmet knocked off. Loeb's pass wasn't very mechanically inclined, yet it was a completion. We still could use you, Mr. Marrone. Heck, you've done a great job with the Orange. Stick around. And I'm not going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger with a knife on that. Let's continue with the Cuse, shall we? The Cuse basketball team. Is it me, or is this team a little overrated? Heck, you saw they barely escaped Detroit to get Boeheim's 900th win. But then they go against Temple, and what do? The Owls exploit a lot of the Cuse's weaknesses, and also Michael Carter-Williams tried to do too much. Plus, he decided to suck at free throws in that game. Boy, Carter-Williams, I know you've stepped your game up this year, but did you plan on building a house with all those bricks? Heck, the Orange threw up a lot of bricks in that game. And even though this Temple team wasn't coached by John Chaney, they still beat us 83-79. Ugh. And then the next game against Alcorn State. I hoped it would be a great entree after watching the Cuse football team smash the heck out of West Virginia. But Alcorn State stayed right with the Orange for quite a while. Heck, the Orange pulled away late. And a team that's in the supposedly the weakest conference there in college basketball of the major not major conferences in Division One, you'd think Syracuse would blow them right out of the dome. Far from it. 57-35, we got past Alcorn State. They're out of the SWAC conference. And you know what the teams in the SWAC conference do? They play da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. Look that up in your 70s television. But then the Cuse welcomed Central Connecticut State to the Dome, and this was the Blue Devils. Heck, not the Duke Blue Devils, but for a while, the Central Connecticut State Blue Devils looked like the Duke Blue Devils. Heck, a couple of times they even took the lead, but then the Cuse's talent won out, and they wound up blowing out these Blue Devils. And now Boeheim was tied right with Bobby Knight at 902 wins. And guess what? We got 2 chances as we open the Big East season to move ahead of Bobby Knight. We play Rutgers, and of course, by the time this show comes on, we'll know if Boeheim gets win 903. And of course, South Florida is coming up. The first 2 games of what is our last season in the Big East. Of course, it could be the last season of the Big East overall, the way teams are moving in or moving out. They've been moving out quite a bit the last few weeks. Could this be the end of the Big East? Boy, I'm going to cry a few tears. Let's go, Boeheim. Get win 903. And that's it for my Cuse. But of course, there's some big news surrounding the Bills. Quick, this is the last time this year I'll probably be bringing out this hat. And I mean, I'm not going to talk about that debacle against Miami. But of course, we closed the season in fine form with a nice little 28-9 beating of the Jets. Well, you know, 28 points, C.J. Spiller running for a score, and a pick 6 by Brian Scott. And also Tashard Choice running for a touchdown. A lot of running plays in that. Rex Ryan, you want to know something? That's the recipe for getting your ass kicked. But I mean, I'm just wondering, how come they fired Mike Tannenbaum and not you, you blowhard? But speaking of firings, the day later, Chan Gailey got his walking papers from the Bills. Thank God. I mean, it just was simple. It was maddening how he was using personnel, how he was misusing C.J. Spiller, and his decisions, which reeked of no guts. Now let's see what Buddy Nix, who apparently might be the odd man out as general manager, because Brandon is now the president and CEO of the Bills. Ralph Wilson decided to cede control of daily operations to Brandon. That is a big-time move, because it really frees up a lot of things to happen. Of course, who could be on the Bills' radar for head coach? As I said before, Doug Marrone actually is on the Bills' radar. But is he going to be hired? We'll see. Apparently the front runner is Ken Wisenhunt, the former coach of the Arizona Cardinals, who got let go. But you gotta wonder, is he gonna be the front runner or others? Heck, Broncos offensive coordinator McCoy is on the Bills' radar. But you gotta think, coordinator, head coach. Unproven commodity there. But of course, all in all, 13 straight years, no playoffs. Now, a new head coach, probably a new quarterback, as it looks as though Fitzpatrick and his Harvard education and his beard are on the way out. Buffalo. Let's get a coach that knows how to do something, and let's make some personnel changes where we finally can get to the playoffs. Enough of this. 13 straight years, no playoffs. This has got to stop. Of course, I could enunciate a little more, but I don't have the time. Well, let's go to a good topic here. I'm going to say farewell to coaching to Chris Salt. He decided to retire after 28 years of coaching Nevada. Chris Salt is an innovator. He was the quarterback for Nevada in the 60s from 65 to 67, and in 1976 he started the first of his 3 stints as the Wolfpack head coach. His innovations and his style have helped lead him to the College Football Hall of Fame 10 years ago. Plus 7 years ago, he invented what has become an offense that has seen a lot of use even by Syracuse and quite a few college teams and even the pros, the pistol. And I kind of like that offense, a variant of the shotgun and lining up under center. But you gotta wonder, the shotgun's been around, now the pistol's been around for 7 years. Is there any such offense called the rifle? Maybe a guy named Winchester can operate the rifle offense. All right, I got 15 shots here. I gotta find, where's my running back? Oh, wait a minute, I gotta get rid of this tobacco. Ding. Well, enough of the Old West jokes. Chris Salt, you were an innovator. Have a good retirement. And last but not least this week, I want to talk about a crisis we just averted. We almost went over what is called the fiscal cliff. Of course, I kind of wonder, where is the fiscal cliff located? Is it located in a canyon? Of course, we got Letchworth around here, but I don't think that's where the fiscal cliff is. Of course, the fiscal cliff is in Washington. Because, those Republicans and those Democrats can't argue on anything. Heck, they couldn't agree on anything, and you know what? It almost led to the U.S. government taking a whole bunch more money out of Americans' pockets. Hey, you already take enough of our hard-earned money, and we don't want to give you any more money. So stop the bipartisan bickering and actually do something for the American people for a change. Get off your duff, Congressman. Get off your duff, President Obama. I don't know why we elected you for 4 more years. Heck, you couldn't get them to agree on almost in time. Heck, we nearly paid the price for your arguing. Stop it. 4 more years of this crap. Well, that's my stories for this week. What a good year it was for Syracuse football, and let's hope Doug Marrone stays. And let's hope Boeheim gets over Bobby Knight. 9:03. I'm Ken Haas, and that's my stories for this week. And Happy New Year.